75 gifts for gardeners. If you're looking for the perfect gifts for gardeners, or if you're looking for some inspiration for your own gardening wish lists, then you've come to the right place. We've put together a list of 75 gifts for gardeners. Some of these gifts are items that we own and love, or they're gardening gifts that we have on our own gardening wish list. These are all useful gifts, gifts that gardeners need, and not things that'll be put in a closet and never looked at again. Of course, gardeners come in many different variations, so when you go through the list of gifts for gardeners, keep the gardener in mind that you're gifting to. You can buy these gifts for gardeners online or locally. If you need a little more help with shopping for garden gifts, we'll have a full list of the products with links on our website, dancingtreetops.com.
Your Amazon affiliates, if you click through any link in the captions of the video or on our website and make a purchase, we may earn a commission at no extra cost to you.
There's no order to the list, and there are gifts in all different price ranges. The list is long, and if you actually manage to get to the end of the video, we will tell you what's at the very top of our gardening wish list. This list of gifts for gardeners video is a little hint to our loved ones, but feel free to seek some inspiration for the gardener in your life. And if you're a gardener and you have something on your wish list that we don't have on ours, please leave a comment. Our Gorilla card has been a steady friend for the past 3 years, and it is still going strong. I'm going to see if I can find a before photo of some of the wood chip piles that this card has helped us move just this year alone. This is the after photo. Now our old wheelbarrow unfortunately kicked the bucket under the weight of wood chips and dirt, so we're adding a wheelbarrow to our garden wish list. Good pruners are essential, and these viscose pruners, which were a gift, have worked very well for us. But if you're willing to spend a little more, we've got the Felco 2 pruners on our wish list. That leads us to lapis. We are using ours often, and we wish for new ones because having one pair is not enough for big projects. Air layering pots will be a big hit with any gardener looking to make more plants. We love these, and we prefer the clear ones because you can actually see where the roots are forming without having to open up the pots. We also recommend that you get different sizes because some branches are bigger than others. Rooting hormone. This is a great gift for both beginner and seasoned gardeners, as making more plants is an important step in the journey to becoming a skilled gardener. And once you're a skilled gardener, you can't stop making more plants, so you're going to need more rooting hormone. You can use many different brands, but we'll link to a couple of favorites on the website. A bird bath. We've had a bird bath on our wish list for a long time, and if we had the money, we would buy as many as we could. A hammock. If you have a couple of trees in your yard, we can highly recommend a hammock. We use ours a lot, and there's just something calming about being in a hammock looking up at the dancing treetops. A compost storage bin for inside. We use an empty ice cream container, but we'd love to have a nice looking compost bin. A pH meter that works. Yes, not all pH meters work. We've tried a couple of them. A sharpening stone. This is a small and inexpensive but extremely helpful gift for any gardener or farmer. It is portable and easy to carry along, plus if you use gardening tools, they constantly need to be sharpened. A good pitchfork is essential in the garden. Whether you're moving wood chips, loosening soil, or digging up potatoes, turmeric and other rhizomes or root vegetables, it is helpful to have a pitchfork on hand. Enough cannot be said about having a good shovel. We are on a teacher's budget, and we usually buy our shovels used, and not all shovels are created equal. That's why we always have a shovel on our wish list. We also have a banana shovel on our wish list, as this is a great tool for anyone who ever needs to dig up banana pods. A fruit picker is helpful if you're a fruit gardener. We use ours for picking papayas, but you can use it for mangoes and many other fruits. A battery-powered chainsaw. This is ours. Well, it's mine, and I love it. It is great for small projects, and while I'm a feminist, let me tell you, I think this is a great chainsaw for women. I will admit it, I'm a little scared of those big chainsaws. And I've had this chainsaw for 5 years, and it works great. It's cut up countless palmettos, and I've even taken down a few smaller dead trees. Now, of course, hubby just gifted me this big chainsaw for my birthday. And some days you just need a good chainsaw. And perhaps a helper. Another great tool to have in the garden is a battery-powered handsaw. The projects we have for this, it's amazing. It gets so much work done. We also love our small handsaw. But it is old and rusty. And it needs to be exchanged for a new one. Hint, hint. And this tall pruner is especially great for banana leaves. So if you have a banana grower in the family, this is a great gift. The pole saw is great for those branches up high. A metal stamping set, a pair of metal cutters, and a roll of aluminum flashing, so the garden lover in your family can make permanent plant tags and never lose track of a plant ID again. We've actually got a video showing you how to make these. It's easy, simple, and quite affordable. And now we're getting into my bird obsession. Because if you love nature and if you're a gardener, it's very likely that you love birds, as long as they stay away from your fruit trees. But you can also just feed the birds close by, and maybe they'll lose interest in the delicious food you're growing. That's why I always have bird feeders on my garden wish list. We have a hummingbird at the house, and they're just amazing to see swishing by. So we can highly recommend gifting a hummingbird feeder for a gardener. We've listed one from our wish list at Treetops.com. But if you get a bird feeder or hummingbird feeder, you'll likely need something to hang it on, which leads us to a bird feeder hanger. Birds are essential to the health of our ecosystem, and they eat so many bugs that we wish for as many birdhouses as possible. So if you have a bird lover or a garden lover in your family, a birdhouse is always a great idea. This is our bat house. We wish for many more, because bats eat bugs, bats eat mosquitoes, and bats are amazing pollinators. Plus, bat droppings, also called guano, is a great fertilizer. A chicken coop. If you have a garden lover in your family who you want to surprise with a fantastic gift, a chicken coop is a great gift, even though it's a little expensive. A rain barrel. We recently did a video of how to make your own rain barrel, which is the budget-friendly option, the one teachers use. But you can also find lots of rain barrels online and locally. Just make sure that they are mosquito-proof and are made of good materials. A wood chipper. This one is one of the more expensive gifts, but if you have a serious garden in the family, we cannot emphasize the importance enough. We use a wood chipper often. It helps break down branches so they can be composted into soil, and it ensures that no yard waste, except for poison ivy, of course, ever leaves our land. Our wood chipper is so old that it hasn't been in production for years, so we're not even going to show it. But we are looking for one that fits our needs, and we will show that. But if you're looking for a wood chipper, it's all about horsepower and how big the branches are that you can actually chip with your wood chipper. The gifts seem to have gotten a bit large. Let's get back to the gifts that can actually be wrapped. Thorn-proof gardening gloves. These are important if you handle roses, blackberries, citrus, or bougainvillea, and other plants with thorns. We've gotten poked quite a bit, so those are always the best ones to wear. And then we have a solar fountain. We gave my dad one of these a few years ago, and it's worked great. And ever since, it's been our own gardening wish list. We love our solar-powered lighthouse. This makes a great gift for any gardener. We got this because we had armadillos digging up the garden at night, and it just kind of sends a signal to the animals that, hey, there are people around, even when it's dark. A garden kite to keep your berries. My dad is a farmer, and he has these in his fields to keep birds away. We definitely need one of these for berry season. A great looking pot for outside or inside. We love these blue ceramic ones. A misting bottle or misting watering can for indoors. When you start seedlings, a misting bottle helps get the seeds off to a great start. A mini greenhouse. We don't have one, but our friend does, and we wish we did. A grafting knife plus grafting tape. We've just started our grafting journey and still need to get better. If a gardener can learn how to graft, only the sky's the limit. A raised garden bed. It doesn't matter whether it's homemade or store-bought. A raised garden bed is a must for any gardener. And the higher it is, the better, because when you do a lot of gardening, you do a lot of bending over. And you do a lot of sitting down and leaning. So the higher it is, the better it is for a gardener's back. A compost barrel. If you're a gardener, you must have a composting pile or compost barrel, because compost is a gardener's best friend. It is what you make your soil out of. It is the nutrients that you give your plants. It is the way you keep chemicals from coming into your garden. A worm bin. We absolutely love a worm bin, and it is essential to the productivity of our garden. We couldn't afford the one we really wanted, so we made our own. It doesn't look too fancy, and if we could, we'd get a bigger one so that we could make more vermicompost. Outdoor lights for the garden or the patio. A great sun hat for working in the garden. A trellis. A gardener can never have enough garden trellises, and most gardeners have plants on the wish list that they can't get because they don't have somewhere to grow them, which especially goes for vining plants. A propagating greenhouse for indoors. A good hand shovel. We have lots, but this one's a favorite. It's the oldest one we have, but it's made out of metal, and somehow it just makes a difference. It's just more solid and more sturdy. A rain gauge. An outdoor thermometer with Fahrenheit and Celsius for any gardener who needs to protect their plants, and for YouTubers who have audiences from all over the world. An outdoor garden workstation. We got this one from a friend, and it is really a garage table, but it helps us with so many things because we don't have to bend over when we work with our plants. If you can get an outdoor garden table, it will make a great gift. A grow light setup for indoors. We don't have one, and we actually just did a video on how to start seeds successfully without grow lights. But if we had the space, we would definitely get grow lights. A whiskey barrel planter. They just look great in any kind of garden. Whether it's out of wood or plastic, they just look great. A great gardening knife for weeding, pruning, and planting. And even better if it comes with a protective cover. Gardening shoes. Waterproof gardening shoes are very helpful because somehow gardeners just tend to get wet feet, which takes us to rain boots. A pair of quality rain boots are extremely useful for the gardener, and they can get a bit pricey. A garden seat. The older we get, the harder it gets to get up from the ground. And let's face it, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you can make gardening easier, it's just better. A harvest basket. We need to put the fruit and veggies we harvest somewhere, and why not do it in style? A rake. There are different types of rakes, but all gardeners should have one of each of these as they have different uses. Seed saving bags. These are just small wedding favor bags that can be tied around a seed pod to save seeds. We use them all the time, and because of it, you can grow more plants, save money, and spend less. And while we're talking about seeds, a stylish seed saver box can certainly help with all the mess that seed packages make. A dehydrator. Because when we grow our own fruits, herbs, and veggies, we also need to save them for when they're no longer in season. A juice pot. My mama had one of these when I was growing up, and she taught me how to make elderberry soup, elderberry juice, and lots of other things from the orchards, from foraging, and from the gardens. My dad actually still has the one that she used when I was little, and he uses it at least once a year to make elderberry tea or elderberry soup and juice. When we discovered that we had elderberries in our area, I knew we had to get one of these juice pots, and after lots of research, I finally made a purchase. But it's the one purchase I've never regretted. And now we also make our very own elderberry juice every summer to last for the rest of the year. A stainless steel water bottle. It can be coated outside to look pretty and stylish, but make sure it's stainless steel so it does not leak any chemicals into your water. When it's hot, my rule is usually that I need to stop working in the food forest if I run out of water, because drinking water is extremely important. You don't want to get dehydrated, and why get sick doing something you love? Insect netting. If you want to make life easier for any gardener, insect netting is a must, especially if they're vegetable gardeners. So insect netting to cover plants is a great idea. Frost protection covers. This is a big help for any gardener if they live in any growing zone where they may get hit with a freeze. A cold frame. These are great for anywhere where you want to extend the growing season, even in Florida. A wind chime. There's just something magical about wind chimes. But if your garden lover already has one or more wind chimes, we can recommend that you choose one of the other great gardening gifts that we've listed instead. A watering can. This is one of our old ones. But we really wish for a stainless steel watering can. Next on our list of gifts for gardeners are some of our favorite books about gardening. The Grow a Little Fruit Tree book by Anne Ralph was the book that finally taught us how to prune our fruit trees the right way and how to prune them small. Eat the Weeds by Deanne Jordan helps any plant lover identify and harvest 275 wild edibles, and that is something we can stand behind. And while we're talking about books, we cannot not mention David Good's Florida Food Forest book. It's a must-have book for any Florida gardener or gardener in the South or in California. But he has a lot more gardening books published, and we hope to make it through all of them. We learn something every time. Dirt to Soil by Gabe Brown. That book has taught us so much about growing plants while helping the earth and our plants at the same time. We cannot recommend this one enough. Transforming Florida Yards by Amanda Pike is an eye-opener, even if you're not in Florida. We have a book on our wish list that hasn't even been published yet. Amanda Pike is working on a food forest cookbook, and we can't wait to get our hands on it. It's not due to a publisher until February, but if you follow her on Facebook, Transforming Florida Yards, you will get a sneak peek into some of the delicious recipes she's going to make with all her food forest plants. Ooh, we can't wait. So it's on our wish list. And finally, we've come to the end of our list. And the last two items on our list are actually at the very top of our own gardening wish list. I bet you guessed one of them already. Plants. Yes, that's it. Fruit trees, edible plants, pollinator plants, flowers, native plants. The list keeps on going. And really, it depends on the gardener in your life what kind of plants that they have on their list. So ask them. See what's on the wish list. And then we have an item on our list that has been there for a very long time. It's an owl house. We know we have owls in our area. We hear them, and we've actually seen a large owl up in the trees. An owl is a predator, and it is a great visitor to your garden of any size. Owls help with pest control, as it keep rats and other rodents at bay in your garden. And who doesn't want that? Of course, make sure that your chicken coop is covered so small chicks won't suffer, and make sure that you get an owl house for the owls in your area. Owls come in many different sizes, and here in Florida, we have 9 different owl species. And while some are small and live in underground burrows, others are huge with large wingspans. That was a very long list of gifts for gardeners. I hope you've got some inspiration. And if you made it to the end of the video, I'd love for you to leave a comment telling me one or maybe even more of the gifts mentioned that you've decided to get, and maybe even who you'll gift it to, if you're not going to share the video with them. And don't forget that we have a full list with links to all of the items mentioned in the video on our website, treetops.com. If you enjoyed this video, please support the Treetops Family Farm by liking, saving, and sharing this video, and by subscribing to our gardening channel. Thank you for watching, and thank you for making the world a little greener.